Hey guys, this is Laurel of the Dabbling Hook, or Rel of the Dabbling Hook, and you are going to hear a whole lot of life noises coming from over there as soon as I stop looking at myself. Today I decided to channel Carrie Penny, Happy Crafty Homemaker, and sit in front of my stash, but mine is not nearly as, what's the word? Orderly. And this, I had ordered some wax canvas from, I think, Fabric Store online, and I have two of them because the first one I ordered said it was on its way, that it was delivered, but never received it, or I never received it. And so I spent a week going back and forth with them saying, hey, delivery thing says it's been, actually no, not that it was delivered to some UPS hub or something near me, but it never made it to me. I went back to my post office box about 3-4 times. I had the guy there who knows me, unfortunately, at the post office, look it up, and yeah, he saw the same thing that I did. So I contacted them and they sent me a second one, and then like 3 days later, the original one got delivered. So after like 2 weeks of being held somewhere, it got delivered. Anyway, so I have yet to use it, and I stupidly ordered it during the fall, which was right in the height of craft fair season. So it's just been sitting here, and I'd seen a tutorial of someone, I think it was a blueprint maker, doing a boxed bag, life noises, with wax canvas, and it looked so great. I wanted some, so I went to order. I didn't realize what I ordered was so much, and what came doesn't quite look like the one that I saw. And of course, being wax canvas, now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, the oily residue from the wax, and is it going to pick up everything? So basically it's just been sitting there. Long story longer. I'm having some Merlot, a good one at that. It's Josh Seller, and the guy at the liquor store said that it's one of the top sellers right now. I don't know. If it's good, I drink it. And I'm squinting a little because it is, what time is it? It's 3:28, and it's a little overcast. It's bright, but a little overcast as well. It's gray, and the light's not getting in here, so I had to put the light behind me, and it's just right in my face, so I actually may have to turn it off. But in the meantime, hi. How are you? And it's just, look at the camera. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome to anyone returning. Thank you for coming to spend some time with me. Let's see what's been going on. I know I haven't made a video, I think in 2 weeks it's been, or a full episode in 2 weeks, but I have a couple of tutorials out there, and a little, a tip video, or a response video, I guess, that I put out there in response to a question that Bonnie from Strawberry Bonnie had asked. So I need to move my wine before I spill it, because we don't want to waste, you know. So as far as Strawberry Bonnie, she had asked about, you know, my favorite yarn of last year, and still so far, latte cakes. And you see in the tutorial on the regular, this is how it looks worked up, and then I'd hand washed it and lay flat to dry, and then I machine washed, which I actually much prefer. You're not really getting the full effect. Oh, there you go. I just think it looks awesome washed. So that's out there. I'd also done the tutorial on putting in amigurumi eyes, and a help for the back to get some leverage. And what was the other video I put out there? It's a little chilly here, and I've got my Gigi Made It bobble shrug on, and it's looking a little worse for wear because More life noises. Yeah, it's gonna be that kind of video. I tend to really rough up my wares. I make it to wear and I treat it, you know, if it needs to be washed, I throw it in the wash. And while I tell people who buy my stuff, you know, if you want it to last, put it in a garment bag, you know, wash it on delicate or wash it separately and all that. I throw things in the wash because I don't have time for all that. So it could use a good, it's not pilling per se, but because I've washed it with all other stuff, it's picked up a lot of debris from other things. So, but it's still keeping me warm. I only wish I had added arms to it because that's why I've never gotten like jacket vests, because my arms are always the most cold, always cold, and I need sleeves, and I have a half sleeve and this, and while I'm warm up here, I am freezing here. So I'm rambling. What are we talking about? I forget what the other tutorial video I put out there. I don't remember. But it's out there. What else? Oh, I'm gonna pause. I'll be right back. Okay. There will be interruptions today. Okay, what was I talking about? Whips. So, my goal last month was to finish the 2019 scrap busting cal, the squares from the unraveled mitten. Yeah, that didn't happen. At the tail end of craft season, I barely finished. I think I finished the last 2 squares in January. But I was hoping to get it all put together and hopefully I don't cause an avalanche. Okay. So what I ended up doing is I took all the squares and because they're different squares, even though I use the same yarn, some of the yarns, you know, are thicker or thinner than others, even in the same, you know, like Red Heart. Like the variegated ones are always thinner and scratchier and all that. So I took them all and I found what I thought was the biggest one out of the batch, counted the sides, and I ended up putting a row of single crochet around. A couple of them I had to put 2 rows to make it a little bigger. But I made sure that the top and bottom were the same, excuse me, number of stitches, and then the sides were the same number of stitches. So I think I got 35 at the top and 42 at the sides, not including the corner stitches. So basically I went around and I put a border on all the squares and got my stitch marker on here so I don't forget what size hook I'm using. And my goal this month is to put it together. I was actually just watching some videos. I went back like almost 10 years to Beth in Texas, one of the OGs. Z would know who that is. She used to be in Fresh Off the Hook and the Cast Off crew. She had a set of videos on doing joins, different joins, and I hadn't decided which way I wanted to go, so I was watching some of hers. So that's my plan to finish off this month for sure. I used 2 skeins and a little bit of a third of, I forget what this color's called, ecru, maybe not, I do not remember. But this is, and it's blown out because of the light, Big Twist Premium. So I used 2 and a little bit of a third to put a border on all 24, so I figured I have 3 full ones left and this one, so that should get me to join them all and potentially put 1 row of border, just a simple border around it, I'm hoping. But at least I think I should be able to join them, and then we'll figure out the border, because I have a couple other colors that I can use to do the border. And I will put in a picture of, I laid them all out on the floor to try to put some order to them, and I'll put a picture in as to what that looks like. And I took a picture of it, obviously. I can put in the picture, so I can remember where they go when I start joining them. Okay, so that's that. My other whip that I have currently, it's my only active whip right now. Actually, there are 2. And and part of it's finished, but Ruby Stedman did a tutorial, and I mentioned that a couple episodes back, on just a simple knit hat. And I didn't particularly, it's a simple knit hat. It's the same, pretty much same formula. But I didn't use her tutorial. But what I liked about it was that she used Charisma, and it worked up great. And I love Charisma, and I love the way it worked up. And they have the tweedy ones that are kind of ombre gradient-ish. I'll show you a couple of them. Actually, did I get the couple? I have to put in a picture of one of them. But I'll show you one of them that I finished in this color last night or yesterday. But I have scraps, or not scraps, leftovers. To me, scraps is a small ball. I have leftovers from 2 others that I did. So this is Bright Pop. It's one of my favorite colors, and you know, the bright pink ones. And then this is the tweed, and it's tweed and a ombre-ish kind of color, Rose Garden. So shades of pink and red with tweed in it. So I have those 2, and then I finished off this color. So I'm actually trying HELIX knitting, where, because I don't like that jog, and I have to work on the spot where I join a new color. I'm always way loose, but HELIX knitting, you can do it with a 2-color stripe or a 3-color stripe. I'm not sure if you can do it more. I'm sure you can. But I'm trying it. And the whole point is the way you crochet in like continuous round is the same thing with knitting, but because you start here, when you come back around, you keep going, so you're higher, right? So you'll always have that jog if you're changing colors. So this kind of, it tricks the eye to, like, you don't even see it because of how you start it. So plenty of tutorials on YouTube about that. So I figured I had these 3 colors left. I will just give it a shot and just add it all together. So that's my active whip right now. I actually started that last night. And then my other active whip is, my Just Feel Festive shawl, which has grown since the last time I showed it. If I can get untangled. Oops. So last time I showed it, I was around here. A little less than all that green I was. So I have since added the, I think I called it tropical last time, but it's, oh good lord. It is Tide Pool Heather. It's a bluish green color. It's like a deep water color. So I've put in, I think, 1.5 skeins in here. So this is the Cascade yarns that I had that my sister had found at a thrift store. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes Sport. And then this is, I've since added more of the Cascade, so I've gone from here to there, added more Cascade, and then I was getting sick of the green, to be honest, so I decided to start the pink earlier than I would have. So that's where I am now, and this is the passion fruit color, I think, of the Swish Knit Picks. So, and that's a sport as well. So that, like I said, is my no rush project. I would like to get it done, but it's my no rush project. And I am sitting on the floor, and it's a little cool down here. Oh, wine will help. Okay, so that's my active whips. What else? Acquisitions. Last time I talked about the fun fur that I'd gotten, and I think I had either gotten it right before I recorded or right after. So I had ordered from Premier, and I had seen that it's going to be some plastic, sorry not sorry, rustling. And I'd seen it on Cozy Fox, Petra's, Cozy Fox? There's like 3 of you with the fox in the name, and I'm getting them confused, but Petra's. Cozy Fox Studio. Cozy Fox Creations. I'll put it on the screen. So they were selling, she had mentioned the fun fur, and it was on sale for $1 a piece. So I got some, how appropriate, Merlot. I got some Merlot. It's a gorgeous, I don't know if it'll come across, this is way blown out, but yeah, gorgeous red color. This is way bright on camera. And then there's black. And I was planning on redoing the hedgehog because I had shown that the black one was thicker than the red one I had made, but I decided to go with it. And this is, I think, Silver Fox. Wolf. And it's just blacks and whites, or silver and black, or whatever it's called. So, yep. So, rustling, putting them back. That was my acquisition. That's it. And that was a pre-acquisition, so I have not bought yarn in, I think, a month already. That's huge for me. My cousin was here visiting from England, and we went out one day. I took him out one day, and we ended up at Walmart, and we went, of course, by the clearance section, because I'm like, before we go, we got to go to the clearance section. And he, and then I saw they had Bernat blanket yarn in the, not the big ball, but I think they have like 3 sizes. They have a regular small ball, a medium size, and a big one. It was the medium size one, and it was, I think, $1.50, and I was this close to getting it, and he even offered. I'm like, nope, I'm on a ban. We're going to respect the ban. So I didn't buy it. It was tough. So yeah, that's it for acquisitions. I've been very good. Been a good girl. The other thing I wanted to mention first off, and sorry, that was me dropping the book on the floor. So I bit the bullet and I started a Facebook group for the dabbling hook. Now, I think I've got 3 or 4 people in there right now. I went through, there have been a bunch of people who sent me friend requests, and I've held off because I've been struggling with, I want to keep my personal page more personal, family oriented, and not commingle crochet so much. I know it'll cross over every once in a while. I have a regular dabbling hook page, but not that many people go there. So I figured a Facebook group, since a lot of people are part of groups, okay, my struggle is having time to manage and do all the administration and all that. So I figured I'll give it a try, and instead of keeping all the friend requests hanging, I went and everyone who requested that, I went in and invited them to that group. Not sure if they're going to see it. I'm all new to the whole group thing and all that, so I'll probably be hitting up you guys who do it already on what I'm doing wrong or need to do, blah, blah, blah. So I will put a link below. There is a new group, a dabbling hook group on Facebook. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but it's there. So go join and post and share and chat and, do what we do. I am, like I said, I'm part of a few groups, and I do get notifications of all the groups and stuff, and it's a struggle sometimes to keep up, but it's there. So okay, so that's that. The other thing, I'm going to move into finished objects. I showed last time that I made my makeup pouch. It has come in so handy. I didn't know I needed that until, I used to go to like 2 or 3 places to look for my lipsticks and stuff, and I usually only put it on for the podcast. So now it's all in one place, and I find I use it a lot. So I may have to do this as I have a couple of birthdays coming up, so I may have to do that. What else? I did make a couple of gifts that I can't show because they were mailed off. They've been received, but I'm waiting for the other person she said she was going to show it, so to do that before I talk about it. So yeah, but the other thing that I made was, and I've actually been using it as a pin cushion. I made a little octo. I do like adding the lashes to it, but it's a struggle because I have to rip it out so many times because it's never just the way I want it. And then eventually you just have to go, whatever, and let it go. But it was just sitting there, and while I was sewing, it's become a pin cushion. So yeah, there's that. The other thing I made, what did I do with the hat? I may have to pause. I thought I brought everything with me. Ooh. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. That took a little bit. Searching for things that were in plain sight, pretty much. Okay, so the hats. I did find the pink ones, and I just realized I made the other one way bigger. So this is the Color Pop one. Ooh, it is blown out. Yep, so just plain knitted beanies. And then this is the Rose Garden one, which I really, really like. Really like. So Kim of Crafty Nomad. Tweed. It works up really, really nice. Really nice. This is like one of the standard ones that they've had for a long time. Oh, and I just never noticed. You can see it on camera, like here. I love that. I never noticed that before, even while working on it, because it's very subtle, but you can see it on camera. But I love the tweed. Yep. And then this is the one I just finished yesterday. Love the tweed. So yeah. And these are just basic without pattern. And this I started doing a couple of years ago, and I sort of half wrote it out, but not at the same time. So there's that. What else did we do? So I actually got to finish a couple of whips this time around. One of them is, ready? This was a crochet along from last year sometime. I think August. I want to say August. And I had gotten the head, the arms, and the legs done, and I was waiting for the body, and then I got busy and completely forgot. So I finally finished that, and it was nice to like clear out a bag. And this is one of my bags from fabric I bought when the minions were little, intending to make curtains for their room, and it never happened. So yeah, so both sides I cut it so I have the giraffe on both sides. And that's been almost a year sitting with that, or at least 6 months. So the sloth is finally done, and I think the pattern was by Melissa Crochet. I'll put a link to it below. I don't know if it's still a free pattern. It might be, but I download all the parts. So the sloth is done finally. So that's one old whip done. The other one that I had started when we went to DC in April, and I had made the square for the dress, and I had to do the head and arms and such, and I never got around to it. So I hadn't even finished the square. I had 2 more rows to finish putting on it. So this is the Lovey, the Sleeping Beauty. I gave her her bun, and it's fuzzy because I brushed it out. I wanted to have some more texture to it, so I brushed it out. So that's her bun. And the granny square. So this I tagged with the block party cal going on. Again, I'm not participating in cals, but sort of. So I tagged it on Instagram with that. I don't remember if there's a Ravelry group. I'll have to go see and post it in there, but there's that. And I did just a slight twist to the granny square that uses the front post triple crochet, a down a row, I didn't go down a row, but I did a little twist on it, and it just gives it, you know, I like texture, and you can't see it here, and let's see. Oh, the light is just blowing. Let me see if I can turn the light off and if it makes it any better. I think that's better than with the glaring light. You can't really see it. But there are front post stitches in there, and it's just offset a little, and it's just mainly for texture. Yeah, who knows, maybe I'll do a little video on it, maybe not. But yeah, I just like that you can see it, you can see the texture, and you can also feel it. So yeah, and I gave her thumbs. Oops, I gave her thumbs. Can you see thumbs against my head? There's a thumb. Yep, and the sleepy eye, because it's a lovey, it's going to go to someone small, so I tend to stay away from the safety eyes for that. So, and these always take me like 3 or 4 tries before I just give up. But my favorite part is her. I love how the bun came out. And this was literally like the last I had, and it turned out to be the right color for it, because it shows it very well. Actually, no, I lie. I think I have maybe like a yard left of this part, because I clipped it off because I wanted the pink. So yeah, that's her. So she can be dragged this way, she can be pulled that way, she can be held that way. So I like this. All right, there's that. The other cowl that I'm not participating in, but sort of, is set as calendar cowl. I figured if the colors call to me, and it's a hat, and you know I'm all about hats, even though these days the fro is just not allowing me to wear hats the way I like to. If the colors call out to me and I have yarn that can match it, it's a hat, I can just whip up a hat. Doesn't have to be a special hat, but it could be anything. So I figured, I bought Setta's crossover 2 pattern, and I made her hat, and I was looking around for yarns. I'll put a picture of the calendar post that goes with it, and I was going to use something else, and then I literally looked down and I'm like, oh, turns out that the yarn Debbie sent me, was it for Christmas? My birthday, had this paint box yarn in it, and the color's called Harvest. So I made Setta's hat. Okay, you may be able to hear. I'll be on the phone, so I'm gonna pause a little bit. Hang on. So yeah, so you can't really see, because of the colors, you can't really see all the texture in here, but this is Setta's hat, and I had to double the yarn, so I wasn't 100% thrilled with how it looks doubled, but the hat's done. And then I wanted to see what it would look like not doubled, and I had just enough yarn to make a tiny version. Now, this is one of the yarns that has the abrupt color shifts, so I didn't color control, but yeah, you can see that. And I did something different with the border instead of what she calls for. So what I did makes it a little extra thick on the border, which I kind of like, but it's her hat up to just that last part right there. So yeah, that's that, a cowl that I'm not participating in. Oh, the other tutorial I did was for a headband. I was, like I said in the video, I was going to do a hat. I'll put in a picture of a hat that I did in 2013. It was like a last minute request that somebody needed for, I think it was a birthday present for a little boy, and I just whipped it up without any pattern, and I loved how it came out, and it's always been in the back of my mind. And I just decided, I had one skein of this Festival, and I look back, it was Festival Chunky. I thought it was a worsted weight. So it used to be a yarn I had a lot because it was in the dollar bin at AC Moore, and I wouldn't have had enough to do a hat. So I just decided to leave it as a headband, and I'm like, I like the way that looks, so headband it is, so hence the video. And so I just remade it in Big Twist Premium. Okay, so that's the video out there. And then using up the yarns. Oh, Minion 2's home from work, so I just added the flowers to that as well. Okay, I'm gonna pause yet again. Okay, what may have seemed like a second to you? Oh my god. Anyway, where was I? I forget what I was talking about. The headband. So yeah, that's out there. The other amigurumi. So this is my amigurumi season. After craft fair, I always go into amigurumi mode because I love making it, and I don't get to make it just for pleasure. It's usually, yes, I enjoy it, but it's for the craft fair, and this is just stuff that I wanted to do that I get to do. So that's usually what I make up until like April, May. So the next one is, it's a purple theme going on today. Merlot, the doll's got purple in it, purple on me. And this is Munchies, the mini bear. Supposed to be probably about this big, but I think the pattern, I'll put who it's by because I can't remember right now. I've had it saved since last year. I saw it on Instagram and I was immediately drawn to it because they did it in Scapia's yarn. I can't reach it. It's up there somewhere. The Stonewashed. Is it Stonewashed? Anyway, if I find their picture, I'll put it. And I was immediately drawn to it, but I didn't want to use that yarn because you're supposed to use, I think, like a 2-point-something millimeter hook. No. The lowest I think I go usually is a 3 millimeter. But I used regular yarn. This was, the purple was Karen Natura, which is a long discontinued yarn. And of course, I had to latte it to give it the fuzzy shirt. And this is just a little left over from that. I used to make the bear. I mean the bow. But yeah, this is him. And in the pattern, he doesn't have a mouth, and you know, I like to put that on there. And I should have put his eyes a little closer, but I think I will be redoing him again at some point. But yeah, and he has the cutest little tail. So yeah, Munchies. Link to the pattern will be below. This is the mini one. There's a regular size bear. Maybe I'll do that next. But I think this is just a small version of the same bear. And this is free. I don't remember if the regular size one is free. It was part of a crochet along at some point. But I love the look of it in the Scapia's wool, but we shall see. But so that's that. What else did we do? Hats, lovey, headbands, hey munchies. Baby hats. I don't have them. I made 2, a baby and a child hat. One I sent off with my cousin to England. It went with the order that he had placed. It was like an add-on from me. And the other one I made as a baby hat, more of a 3 to 6 month size, for to go with the hippo and the elephant lovey that I did, that we finally were able to give to her last week. So I'll put in pictures of that. What I did. I mentioned that there's another amigurumi I did, but it was a gift that's been received, and I'm waiting for her to show it before I talk about it. I'd also done a couple of Yoda cozies. I don't remember if I showed that before, but I will, I'll put that on the screen as well. Those were a couple of last minute requests to go with another request. So that's done. And I think that's all I have. It felt like a lot more, but it's not. But lastly, last year I'd given away some knitting books, and I found that I missed a couple. So impromptu. You're gonna hear Minion 2, who doesn't know what quiet means. I was just instructed to pause my video. Honest to God, life of boys. As I was saying, I found these last 2 books. So, if anyone's interested, they are knitting. And I know a lot of us hookers, crocheters, anyone who's offended by that, are venturing out into knitting now. So, and there are 2 things that are on my bucket list that I've yet to complete. One I did in super bulky yarn, but I wasn't pleased with it and I have to redo it. Socktacular and Mighty Mittens. Alright, so these are from Knit Picks, and if anyone's interested, I will, on the next video, do a drawing for it. I hope to have another video in a week. So by next video, I'll announce the winner. Make sure your response has book, the word book, in the comments if you're interested, and I will send this out to you. I will say though, as far as last year, I did a tally of what I paid for postage last year. Can't do that again. It's a lot more than I expected. And this year, did you guys know that rates just went up again? That's like twice in less than 2 years almost, because I think it just went up last week or the week before. What is it? Flat rate small box was $7.65 or something. Now it's $8.30. Or maybe it had gone up to $7.95. But anyway, it's now over $8 for the flat rate box. So yeah, shipping's gone up again. It's crazy. But having said that, if you're interested, make sure book is in your comment. I will announce who gets it on the next video. And I'm forgetting something, I know, but I can't think of it right now. So thank you for spending some time with me. Sorry, not sorry for all the interruptions. It's life, you know. Don't forget to check out the Facebook group. There isn't a whole lot more in there right now. But if you've ever sent me a friend request, I would appreciate if you go over there and come join there. I am most likely going to take out all the yarn related people out of my personal page. So I hope you come over and hang out, and I will talk to you guys later. I'm looking at myself again instead of looking at you. It's so hard to do. Anyway, don't mind the mess. It's not gonna go get cleaned anytime soon. This is all my super bulky stuff that I do my cowls and hats and stuff out of, and cakes that I thought I had whittled down, and there's a lot more. Hence, the soft ban is still continuing. So, on that note, I will talk to you guys later. The men's are cooking dinner, so I'm just chilling. I promised Minion 1 that I'll go to the gym with him today, and I can't break your promise. Talk to you guys later. Bye. I told you I forgot something. Okay, what I forgot. Made a bucket to hold my yarn scraps. I used to keep that in a gallon Ziploc bag, and I was on my second Ziploc bag. It rips after a while, it's overstuffed, it falls over, things always spill out. So this is the content of a gallon Ziploc bag. And now I have a scrap yarn bucket, or yarn ends, not scrap yarn, yarn end buckets. And it sits nicely on the floor, doesn't go anywhere. I can just pick it up and move. So there, bye.